So let's talk about it. There's three types of sales prospects, okay? So the three types of sales prospects that we have, three types of sales prospects. And I want you guys to think about this when you're walking around. Because realistically, when you guys are gonna start going out there and prospects, when you guys start going out there and you're like, okay, I want to talk to people, you have to understand where people are. So we're gonna use a distribution curve. Okay, so what's a distribution curve? It's just understanding where everyone lies in terms of a distribution, right? So we got 20% of people here, 60% of people here, and 20% of people here. Altogether, what does that make? What is that, Alvin? 100. 100, all right, there we go. Which means you gotta be 100 all the time. Stay ready. So when we're looking at a look at the types of prospects that we're dealing with, the number one person that everyone likes is this person. You know why? This is your laydowns. These are the people who are concerned individuals. So what happens with these concerned individuals? Concern. You know what the crazy thing is? I'm actually left-handed. I don't know if you guys can tell. So these are concerned individuals. These are your laydowns. Those are the people who don't even ask for the price. They just say, I'm willing to buy. So you're like 156 sessions and all right, buy. $396 biweekly, tap. They don't ask. Now here's the thing about these concerned people. When you get these people, you don't realize this is not selling. It's easy. You didn't do anything. Realistically, it didn't matter who talked to them. They were going to buy, okay? The next group of people on this side is your convinced people. So this convinced group of people, they're convinced that they don't need you. They're convinced that, you know what, in order to get, I can do this training thing on my own. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube. I don't need you, right? So at this point here, that's 20% of the gym floor. You're walking around and talking to these people who really, they're not buying from you, okay? And a lot of times, some people spend a lot of time, open that door. Some people spend a lot of time talking with this convinced person, right? So we spend time talking with this convinced person on the floor and they're like, oh, they said no to me. Oh, they don't want training. Or they don't want this. Who cares, right? So at this point, this person is realistically, they don't need you. They know everything. So that's this person. They know everything. Everything. Okay? So the middle part is the 60%. The 60% are your complacent. Complacent. When you get to the complacent people, guess what happens? These are the people that are right in the middle. And these are the people who average out 60% of our gym floor most of the times. Right? So now we need to, since we understand in terms of distribution curve and where everyone stands, now we understand the main point of a sales process is what? Move the sale forward, right? That's it. In any point of here, we can always move the sale forward. In this point, when you get a concerned person who comes in, you don't need to move anything forward. You just gotta point them in the right direction, give them an answer to the solution, to answer to the problem that they came, which is a solution, right? So there are different techniques in terms of ways to move people forward. So we'll start with the convinced person. The first thing you need to do with a convinced person is you need to make them, big A, aware. You gotta make them aware. Aware of what? That they don't know what they're doing without you, right? So I watched TikTok, I watched YouTube, I watched Instagram, and someone told me to squat without putting my knees forward. Someone told me not to squeeze my glutes on the way up. Someone told me not to do this. Someone told me not to push my hands like this. Someone said that when I'm doing a lat pull down, I can bring my shoulders forward like this. There's a lot of bad information out there. how do you now deal with bad information on the internet? What are the ways? Correct them. Well, no, there's one way to deal with bad information on the internet. Yes, put out correct information. Because the reality is that if everyone's getting bad information on the internet, right, it's the blind leading the blind. I use the example all the time is like when someone comes into the gym and they got results, right, and they're just 20%, it's the equivalent of someone shooting darts with a blindfold, right? You ever seen someone shoot darts with a blindfold and get pure bullseyes? Now what happens when you go talk to that person who shot darts with a blindfold, who shot pure bullseyes? When you say, hey, how'd you do that? What do they say to you? I don't know. I just close my eyes and it's like, woo. I just do it. I just lift. I just come in. I get results. So this person, right, you need to make them aware. Aware of what? Well, they're aware of their shortcomings. So you need to understand, like, how do I get this person to move forward into this complacent category, okay? So your main goal here is to turn someone from a convinced person that they don't need you to an aware person. The easiest way to do that is through engineering. Engineering meaning free workouts. Free workouts. Why do free workouts help someone that knows everything become complacent and move them to the 60%? Why does that work?
Kind of throw them into a different environment.
Throw them into a different environment.
And like show the corrective things and they see where they were wrong.
Show the corrective things and see where they're wrong. So you get to show the corrections and see where they're wrong. You get to help them see that the fact that they actually don't know everything. So now they're second guessing themselves. Do I actually know everything? I guess I don't. The next thing in terms of when you get someone from convinced to complacent, the thing you need to do is big U, urgency. You got to create urgency. In order to get someone from complacent to concerned, urgency needs to be created. Without urgency, people will be complacent. What does complacent mean? They don't want to do anything. This is the middle ground, right? If someone's concerned, it doesn't matter what the price that you're going to show them. They're going to buy. If someone's complacent, they are not going to buy, right? They're not buying here. They're not buying here. They're only buying here. Our main goal in the sales process is to keep moving people forward until you close, right? So you have to create urgency by that. There's different forms of creating urgency. It's a whole other video I can do, a whole other conversation I can do in terms of that. But a couple ways of creating urgency is time. You can create urgency through goals. You can create urgency through events. Events. Okay, so there's many different ways, other ways to create urgency. So utilizing time to create urgency would be like, okay, so Jaden, you want to get ready for your wedding. Amazing. When's your wedding? It's going to be in July. So that's coming up soon. All right, so like now's the time to start. You don't want to wait any longer. We already missed 4 months. So like now's the time. If you tell me you not even have to go home and think about it, this is just for a consultation. So if you tell me, I got to think about it, what do you need to think about? Jaden, you're getting married in July. I'm telling you, I'm giving you a free workout. Right? Objections are just things that people say. So when people say no, that's an objection. Overcoming objections is just overcoming those objections. People are always going to say no throughout the entirety of this whole process. How do we get them to say yes? How do we turn our maybes into yeses and our no's into maybes? Right? So if this is maybe, think about this as well. Maybe, it's the exact same thing. No, yes. Right? Exact same thing. Our no's, we turn our no's into maybes by creating awareness. We turn our maybes into yeses by creating urgency. And our yeses, we just close them. That's it. So when you're on the gym floor, you have to recognize where people are and put them in these buckets. So if you talk to a person and they're, Mr. I'm convinced that I don't need you. I'm squatting 8,000 pounds. I'm deadlifting 2,000 pounds and I'm benching 1,000,000 pounds. It's a lot of weight, but their deadlift is very concerning. If they say no to you, how do you create awareness? Get them in a workout, get them talking to you, get them seeing you. If you have someone that is now complacent, so they're willing to talk to you more about everything. This is someone that's a maybe. They're willing to talk to you. So you've talked to people like this who they're a bit more friendly. They're a bit more, yeah, talk about my goals. Here's what's happening. Here's everything that's going on, right? And they're willing to talk to you about everything. Our main goal is to go from complacent to convinced by creating urgency through time. Time is the number one thing that creates urgency. The reason why time creates urgency is because we have a limited finite amount of it. In a week, we only have 176 hours. There's 24-hour days, right? In 24 hours, that's 24 60 minutes, right? It's not a lot of time. So when someone says, I don't have time, it's like, make time. Everyone has the same amount of time. No one has more time. It's just how what you do with your time. So you gotta create urgency by the way you can create urgency, especially with training. It'd be like this. So Alvin, I totally understand you don't have a lot of time, right? But it also sounds like your time is very valuable when you come into the gym, right? So because you don't have a lot of time, you want to make sure you get in and out of the gym, right? So having a periodized plan and an actual system to work when you come to the gym will really help you with your time, and that way you can be able to get the results you need, okay? So realistically, coming in with me will actually help you. I'll give you the workout that you need in less time. Systems. Save yourself time, energy, money. Creating a system helps with that, right? That's why when people say, I'm going to outsource my fitness to you, I'm no longer thinking about training anymore. I'm saying, Alvin, think about my training. You're going to do all my programming. So when I come into the gym, you're going to be like, all right, it's leg day today. Okay. Right? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to warm up. Okay. I shouldn't have any questions because I don't need to think about this. If I need to start thinking about this, what did I hire you for? Right? That's why the other thing in terms of programming, all these things that we do on the side of just training. Goals help with that, creating urgency because there's always deadlines for goals, and events help with that because there's always deadlines with events. Our main goal is to turn the complacent person to concerned person. Once they become concerned about their events, time, or goals, then they become a yes. Make sense? But our main goal is to find the people and recognize where they are in the bucket and just keep on moving them forward. All right? That's it for this one. Catch the next one.